Good evening. Welcome to Talk Ottawa. We're going to talk about some municipal issues tonight. We put together a panel of 3 Ottawa City Councillors, and we'll go over some of the big decisions City Council has been grappling with lately, including the new deal to avoid a bus strike, where to locate the downtown transit stations in the new light rail system, and much more. We'll get to some topics in just a moment, but let's introduce our guest. First of all, the councillor for Gloucester South Nepean, Steve Desroches, is here. Welcome to you.
Hi, Mark.
The councillor for Bay Ward, Mark Taylor, is beside him. Thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure, Mark.
And the councillor for College Ward, Rick Shirelli. Thanks for coming in. Good to have you all here. So let's start with the debate about the downtown stations. And I think there is a view that's developing in the community that the number one priority for this is to keep it on budget, which I think is a great objective for City Council and for the Mayor to have. But there's a concern, I think, that goes with that it still has to be a good system. It can't just be on budget, it has to deliver value. So are we starting to get into conflict between those two things? What do you think, Steve?
Well, we certainly had some discussions at the council table and heard from some special interest groups that'd like to see us make some changes. One of the things I heard during the 2006 election was that the residents of the City of Ottawa want us to move forward. They want us to make a decision and move forward and develop and build a transit system for now and in the future. So I think we're on the road to doing that. We have been very clear, I think, as a council, and Mayor Watson has, that we need to be firm on our commitment of $2.1 billion. So I think we are doing our homework. We are doing the due diligence to build a system that will have a large number of riders in the future. And we're going to need that, because if it is going to be a viable system, we have to have very strong ridership numbers. And I think the decision to move the station further east very much considered the cost benefits and considered the big swing in ridership that would come as a result of that move.
All right. Mark Taylor, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd echo, certainly what Steve had said. I think at the end of the day, you hit the nail on the head when you said we have an obligation to keep this thing on budget, but of course, folks want to have a system up and running, so we have a responsibility to build it in a timely fashion, and that means, proceeding with the plan that, that we have in hand and not going back to the drawing board again. And with respect to the station location, much like the budget, it's just math. This isn't, a situation where you can debate it much. By putting the station on the east side, you're serving 6,000 more riders. Notwithstanding the fact that we have an obligation to work with partners and special interest groups, for sure. At the same time, we have a greater obligation to the majority of residents and riders.